shifts to the right, drops. Here comes pressure. Throws it to the middle. Grab is made by Laviska. He's got the first down at the 30. Steps out of a tackle. Running, falling. Here he goes. Laviska is gone. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Touchdown, Colorado. Oh, 89 yards for Laviska Shenault. Oh, what a play by Laviska Shenault. I think we told you last week in the show he's going to be a star. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the boss, Mark Johnson. Coach Gary Barnett. Buffalo's 1-0, 45-13, dominating the Rocky Mountain Showdown here at Bronco Stadium at Mile High. Pretty impressive start to a season for the Buffaloes.
Well, unbelievable. And to, to see so many guys get involved offensively and make big plays. I think a year ago, that's what we thought this football team was going to be, and it didn't come close to what we saw tonight. And a bunch of young guys. That's the thing that's impressive to me is that this isn't a veteran team that's doing all. You got a veteran quarterback, but you don't have a lot of veterans out there. You got a bunch of guys that are playing together really for the first time, and they look like they really like to play together, and they're really fast. And number 2 is the best player on the field, so. It would be a fun team to coach, I can tell you that. Yeah,
Laviska Shenault, he had 11 receptions, 211 yards, and a touchdown, the 89-yarder. You can do a lot with that guy, can't you?
He had a career in one night. Yeah, you can. I mean, and they do. They put him. They put him everywhere, and he causes problems. Going to cause problems for defenses as they go through. And I'm not sure CSU really had an idea what this guy was about. I think he as much caught them off guard as he was impressive just how he runs. So I think they got caught totally off guard. And then, Katie Nixon in there and really everybody else that gets thrown into that mix. They're good players, and they just distribute the ball really well to them tonight. Good job of game planning and play calling.
Steven Montez had 338 yards, 4 touchdown passing, had a 38-yard rushing touchdown. What was your assessment of the quarterback? Are we seeing him grow up a little bit?
I don't know. I think the game plan that I saw was get it out of his hands quickly. You don't give him anything he has to think about. Let him execute with his arm, and that's what he did. And it played to his strength. And a good job by coaches. Getting a game plan together like that, and for him executing the way it was.
Buffaloes had 596 yards of offense, over 200 yards rushing. Very complete game offensively by the Buffaloes as they win 45-13. Before the game, Darren Cheverini, his first game calling plays as a co-offensive coordinator, he had some inspirational words for the Buffaloes.
I've been really watching you guys this fall. I really wanted to see what kind of group of men we had coming into fall camp. I was really, really looking at that. I wanted to see if you guys were listening to hype or you're really putting the work in. We've had that mantra all fall camp. All fall camp. Nothing to say, right? Yes, sir. A lot to prove. You guys have been committed to that. Because I've been watching you. I have been watching you. But now, nothing to say. It's time to prove it. And it comes right here, man. Right here. It's heart. All that individual stuff and all the technique fumbles, yes, I get that. But at the end of the day, it's man to man. It's your heart. It's your heart, man.
Hey, let's go.
Win on 2. 1, 2, win. Win, baby.
So the Buffaloes are 1-0, 45-13, knocking off the Rams here with nearly 600 yards of offense in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Let's switch to the defensive side of the ball. What was your assessment there?
Well, they were so much more movement than they had last year. They found ways to put pressure on the quarterback. We had 3 sacks, and we only had 22 all year last year. And so I thought the defensive coaches did a nice job of putting together a plan and really playing to the strength of these guys that they have right now. And there's some depth. There's some depth at corner. There's some depth at safety. There's some depth up front that they didn't have a year ago. And so I thought overall they did a nice job defensively, and they'll grow, they'll get better. I heard Mustafa just talking about he didn't know what to expect out there, and now they know what to expect. So they'll learn from this, and you always improve the most from your first game and your second game.
Buffs are led defensively by Nate Landman, the inside linebacker. He is a star in the make, isn't he?
He is an outstanding football player. I don't think I've seen another one that's better than what he is at this point in his career, and that's talking to some pretty good players. So he's just got instincts. He can run. and he can diagnose. So I think he's gonna be a great player.
Gary wouldn't let me talk about the Nebraska game during the radio broadcast while the game is still going on. Now we can. Buffs get to renew rivalries with our friends to the east.
Absolutely, and you know, these players don't quite understand it. Coach McIntyre doesn't quite understand it, but everybody in the state understands it because that's our rivalry. And everybody's jacked up at this game. They're jacked up in Nebraska.
Sure.
You know, talking to people there, they're all fired up for this. So there's no better place to go and win than in Lincoln, Nebraska. And these two teams are going to be pretty much mirror images of each other. And they're both young, and so it's a great opportunity, and it's really going to be a great weekend. Win or lose, it's going to be a great place to go.
Looking forward to it. That's Coach Gary Barnett. Buffs at Nebraska next week. We'll take a time out here in the Stampede. He worked our sidelines. He's one of the greatest Buffs of all time. Mike Pritchett will join us next. There's the run pass option, keeping it this time to quarterback. He cuts off to his left. He's got a blocker in Jay McIntyre. Down the far side, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Colorado! A 38-yard scamper on a run pass option.
Coming into this game, he had 15 starts. And that's kind of when you start really honestly clicking. But I think now he'll be able to understand and consistently knows how to work, consistently knows what to look for, consistently knows how to watch film. He's able to change protections. He's able to know where the free guys come in. All of that is critical factors in being able to consistently play well. He keeps making progress, and to me, he has a lot more command of everything and sees it better.
That was a great play by Steven Montez. His one rushing touchdown along with 4 passing touchdowns. Of course, comments from the head coach about his quarterback there. Steven Montez. Buffalo's win it, by the way, 45-13. Rocky Mountain Showdown. Mike Pritchett joining us. What was your takeaway here tonight?
Wow. I mean, I think this offense wowed me. They dazzled everybody. Just a lot of weapons, just a lot of talent on the field for CU on both sides of the ball. You're replacing Isaiah Oliver in the back end on the defense, and I thought some guys stepped up there. Physical nature on the defense and with the front 7 too, and that kind of slowed down the Ram attack. And then offensively, they just exploded. Right. I have not seen the Buffs explode on a team like this in a while.
Well, Mike, when you think about it, and you were a great receiver, played for a long time in the NFL, there's not 1 or 2 guys out there. There's 7 or 8 guys they've got they can get the ball.
They just don't stop. Right? I mean, they keep coming, and a variety of fashions too, a variety of ways, whether it's a quick hitter or whether you want to throw the ball over the middle of the field or certainly exploit the perimeter. Yeah. We haven't seen everything of this offense either. I mean, we saw an efficient offense tonight and really just trying to get the ball into the playmakers' hands. But once teams adjust to that, I can't wait to see the vertical passing game from the Buffs.
And they've taken some of the decision-making out of Steven's hands, so he just has to make plays, not really think or read too much.
Right. I mean, they just have too much firepower. You know, why let the quarterback hold on to it and read it when he doesn't have to? Because you have so many playmakers out there. You apply pressure to the defense because now who do they cover? Who do they try to stop? You can't shut down everybody. You can't cover everybody. And when everybody touches the football like that, then this offense is going to be powerful.
And it makes for a happy locker room as well. I'm standing next to one of the great Buffs of all time in this 45-13 win of the Rocky Mountain Showdown. There were plenty of great Buffs in the stands for this one. Here's the run-pass option, keeping it this time to quarterback. He cuts off to his left. He's got a blocker in Jay McIntyre. Down the far side, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Colorado!
Hey, this is a good way to start the game, get this crowd fired up. It's going to be a good season this year. It means so much as being from Colorado. I have a brother who went to Colorado State, so that rivalry is always there. And this how it should be to start every year off against CSU.
And it's good to be back. It's good to kind of get back around, get that feeling of what it was like to play before. And it's just good for the state of Colorado for these two teams to get together. The state really rallies around it, and it just is a good time for everybody involved, both sides. I miss it a lot, to be perfectly honest. I miss it a lot. It's good to get out here. When you're in college, it's like you're literally playing with your brothers. So it's like going to war with your brothers. So I definitely miss it. We definitely try to get together. It's one of those things where it's good for us to rally around. We try to do a good job of getting together for this game. It's a brotherhood. And when you play with somebody for 4 or 5 years, you guys become brothers forever.
For the Rocky Mountain Showdown, for the most part, this game just meant the starting of a new season. It's always a good thing to start the season off with a rivalry. At least for the offense and the defense, you have to set the tone right away. I think that every single year when we came and played them while I was here, we set the tone right away, and it set the tone for the rest of the season. I really want to just get out there and suit up. It's so good to just like watch the younger guys go out there and do what they do. And my 4 years at CU just went back so fast. Now that I look back on it, it's nothing that I wouldn't change for the world. CU's just had a special place in my heart. This is a brotherhood for life.
Always great to see the alumni here at the Rocky Mountain Showdown. A lot of your former teammates out there.
A lot of guys.
They were having a good time.
Oh,
tonight,
always. We're Buffs, shoulder to shoulder. It's always shoulder to shoulder.
Once above, always above. Hey, we talked about the offensive side before we heard from the fellas there. How about the defensive side? What impressed you there?
You know, their intensity. You know, you're replacing a lot of players. You know, they lost Derek McCartney to graduation, and you know he was a motor guy,
yeah,
and certainly a guy that was inspirational and leader. You know, a true leader out there. So you worried about that, but I mean, again, there's athletes on that side of the ball too, and I was impressed with the quickness. I was impressed with how much defense they actually executed tonight with this twist and the stunts at the line of scrimmage and the blitzes off the edge and the man-to-man aggressive coverage in the secondary.
You know, in the last couple of years, Isaiah Oliver, Okello Witherspoon, Chito Awuzie, they were proven guys back there. So a lot of unknown back there. Did you see something from the young corners that you liked and said, okay, maybe these guys will be okay?
You know, these corners challenged the receivers from CSU, and they had a couple of good receivers over there with the Rams. And I loved how Abrams challenged Williams, who looks like he's an NFL type of player. So that's encouraging. I mean, this is the starting point, though.
Yeah.
These guys are going to grow up. They're going to get more experience, and they're going to get better, and that's going to be special.
All right, next week, Nebraska. I know you know what that means.
Yes,
I'm not sure all
sir.
the guys in this roster know what that means, but that's going to be special next week.
You know, it's fascinating because, like, I think their parents know, but they don't know, right? And so we're their parents this week, and we're going to remind them and certainly let them understand how important this game is.
What's your favorite memory about Nebraska?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be the catches and the sleet and the cold weather, and you know, we were struggling at that point, but then you know you come through with a couple big plays and kind of sparks the offense, and we go on to victory.
It's great to have that rivalry game back. He's Mike Pritchard. Colorado Buffaloes win the Rocky Mountain Showdown, dominating fashion, 45-13. You know who's really good defensively? Nate Landman, the young linebacker. He's going to join us next year at the Stampede. Samuels to his left. Samuels to snap. Drops. Throws. It's deflected. And it is picked off. Guess who? Nate Landman on the deflection. He's got it across the 50. Down to the 48. And there's the first turnover. There's the interception by Nate Landman. Deflection by Mustafa Johnson, by the way. First career interception for Nate, who, by the way, was just named the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week after the 45-13 victory over the Rams at the Rocky Mountain Showdown on Friday. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Well, you've also become a very popular guy the last few days, huh?
Yes, sir. It's been great, honestly.
Take us back to Friday. Now, just the game overall. You guys came out offensively, defensively. Everything seemed to be working for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, we came out hot. We came into that game, just wanted to play our game. Talked about that all week, all camp, honestly, that if we play our game, that no one can stop us. And we're a really good football team. Somebody
did a piece on Nate saying that you had some pretty good butterflies going in your first career start. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I take that as strength, though.
Sure.
It gets me going, gets me ready for the game.
Yeah. Just like the show, I'm terrified every time we turn the microphones on. Not really. But once you get on out there, it's just football, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Kind of what you've been doing all week prepares you, your body kind of takes over in the atmosphere.
One thing that I hear about Nate Landman all the time, Gary Barnett in our broadcast talks about this. He says there's an instinct to what you do out there. Have you always just kind of had that understanding of football?
I guess so. I mean, I started when I was young, and it kind of just increases every year.
Yeah.
My football smartness gets greater. I've had some great coaches along the way, and great coaches now.
Right. Ross Ellis is your coach here, defensive
yes, sir.
Linebacker coach. Tell me about him and his influence on you.
He's a great coach. He didn't recruit me here, but he's a great coach. I mean, I feel so happy here. I'm comfortable with him. I can go and talk to him anytime. He texts me, I text him. He has a great balance of being a coach and also a friend. And, yeah, I'm very happy here.
Yeah. Now, the physical aspect is one thing, but having it between the ears, that makes the game a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, I've had great mentors. Rick, he's helped me along the way. It's kind of tough coming in as a freshman, not knowing any of the defense. What you do in high school is way different to what you do here. And having those leadership guys help me out has really helped me.
Yeah, Defensive Player of the Week in the Pac-12, Nate Landman. By the way, the atmosphere outside the stadium was as good as inside the stadium. Phenomenal tailgating at the Rocky Mountain Showdown.
We're here at the CU-CSU rivalry
at the Mile High Stadium where the Broncos play, and this is enormously important because so many great alumni from around the state can gather here for both teams as well as the students.
We're having a great time tailgating. We come out every year and have been doing it for at least just over 20 years.
Why we like to tailgate is it reconnects us with our friends and fellow Buff fans through the years. And so we keep this up through a multi-generational, and it just keeps rolling.
And we love barbecuing, just tailgating ahead of time, getting super excited about the game and all the excitement going on that leads up to the game.
I think in terms of hyping up the football team, if you have a good tailgate, then you're going to have good fans, and it's going to lead to a good game.
I'm hyped, baby. Let's go. Let's get some dubs, baby. Let's get this dub.
Woo! I love watching Ralphie run.
Favorite part of the football game is watching Ralphie run.
I think it's been voted maybe the coolest mascot in the country, and especially tonight when the ram comes out, there's a very distinct difference between mascots.
And of course, a big win. That's probably the best part of CU is when the Buffs beat the Rams. And we're hoping for another win today. So it's a lot of fun, and go Buffs.
A lot of fun outside the stadium for the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Not nearly as much fun as this guy was having, though, in the ball game as the Buffs win 45-13, now getting ready for Nebraska. I mentioned just a moment ago, he was just named the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week. What does that mean to you?
It means a great deal, not only for myself and my defense, because my success couldn't have happened without them. My D-line and secondary played great all game, and I owe that to them.
Yeah. How do you kind of keep your head about it? Just pretty heady stuff we're talking about. Everybody wants to do interviews and getting awards. How do you keep your head where it's supposed to be?
I've always been a pretty humble guy. I come from a humble background with my family. I got great friends that keep me humble too, and this program is great. I just want to do what I can for this program.
I bet you Rick Gamboa will tell you to settle down there, young man, right? a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I love playing next to Rick.
He's a smart – talking about guys that understand the game intuitively, he certainly does, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Rick helped me a lot along the way. He's out there giving me confidence on the field when I mess up. He's telling me to move on, and he's a great guy.
Nate, how about this offense? They looked explosive last week, and we've kind of thought that all camp long. Are they as good as they looked the other night?
I think they can be better, honestly. They did a great job last night, not taking anything away from them, but some opportunities came, and they made the most of it. They're explosive. We got some young guys. Montez really stepped up, and I'm excited what they're going to do.
Okay, now you're a young guy. You know, the Buffs have been out of the Big 12 to the Pac-12 since 2010. Have you been instructed? Have you been told about the history of what Colorado-Nebraska means for this ballgame this weekend?
I've heard a few things there and there. Coach Hagan told me he's never lost them today, so hopefully keep that up.
Yeah, and you know not to wear red.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, but still a great challenge. Now taking this on the road in a hostile environment, big challenge for the Buffaloes this weekend.
Yeah, big game. We're going in there, not really worried about them, worried about ourselves. As long as we play our game, I don't think we'll have a problem.
All right, I like it. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that is linebacker Nate Landman, the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week. Buffaloes getting ready for the Huskers this weekend at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Coming up next here in the Stampede, we're talking soccer. Junior forward Tatum Barton will join us next.
4-0 win for the Buffaloes. Jorium, tell me about today's performance. You were able to find the back of the net, but it was already 2-0 at that point. What worked well for the Buffaloes here today?
Ultimately, I just think coming out with a lot of energy was the main focus for us. Just building that momentum from the Mizzou game and carrying it into this one helped us a lot. And our ultimate goal is just to keep pushing all 90, and it just got us the result we needed.
There's some great comments from Jorium Bacham after the Buffaloes' victory over UTSA on Friday at Prentice Field. Buffs did go 2-0 over the weekend. In fact, they had an old Big 12 rival, Iowa State, over the weekend. That was on Sunday. Got a victory as there. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, back here in the Stampede. We've got Tatum Barton joining us, junior forward for the Buffaloes, who's been on a scoring streak. But 4-0-1, what a great start to the season for you guys. What's going on?
You know, it has been very good for us. We worked hard all preseason, and, you know, we had to come out strong. And when we tied CSU, we had to prove something, so...
That kind of put a little motivation into this team a little bit, didn't it?
Sure. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's been happening offensively? Seems to be a very efficient team offensively.
I think we're just all, like, combining well, and the chemistry up top is, like, really good.
Yeah.
So I think it took some time to kind of find it the first 2 games, and then we finally got it. So.
You know, she's got 6 goals, so
Yeah.
you're kind of feeling it offensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the players around me have just really helped me, and like they've been giving me great balls to just finish.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Danny Sanchez was on a show here a week or 2 ago, and we were talking about this, and he said, you know, last year there was a little bit of pressure on Taylor Korniak.
For sure.
Now everyone's playing so well around her
Yeah.
that more teams or more players are getting an opportunity to score.
Yeah, and I think it's just our communication up top, and everyone is just playing well together, and that's really all there is to it.
A hat trick against Missouri, kind of fun. That old Big 12 rival a couple weeks ago. Getting a hat trick in a game.
Yeah.
Anything special happen after a game when you get 3 goals like that?
I mean, it was just exciting and fun.
You get something dumped on you, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of water. Yeah.
That didn't happen.
It happened.
Now, she's got 6 goals this season. Tatum Barton joining us here on the Buffalo Stampede television show. Last weekend we had the Rocky Mountain Showdown for the football team. What a victory by the Buffaloes, and what a great stampede on Pearl Street the night before.
Every parade, and we try to support this team and cheer them on right before the games here at home.
I mean, all the fans out here being real supportive, it's uplifting for us, I
Energy from the fans is what we thrive on, especially at Mile High, so we can't wait to go get a win tomorrow night.
I like to catch the balls when they throw them, when the football players throw them.
So having the opportunity to come to Stampede, seeing all the great Buff fans out here, really motivates this team and excites them. Hi, Mom, love you. And you know what? It's going to get them motivated for tomorrow night just to take it to the Rams. So thanks for coming out, and we love you, and the team loves you.
It's always a great celebration on Pearl Street the night before a home football game. You ever been down there for that?
No, I have not.
You need to get down
there. I know.
Team goes on. There's a fire truck that drives down the middle of Pearl Street.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
I'll make sure to
get
go
on
down
out there.
there.
I always enjoy that. In fact, you got the Buffs home opener with New Hampshire coming up a week from Saturday after that Nebraska game. Let's talk about the Buff soccer team defensively. Buffaloes have given up 1 goal so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing really well across the whole field. Our defense, we have lost a few players due to injury, but the freshmen have really stepped up and really helped us out. So
and the goaltenders have been outstanding. The two of them are fantastic.
Yeah, they're so good. Yeah, so we're very lucky to have 2 great goalkeepers.
When you've got 2 goalkeepers like that playing behind you, I mean, you got to trust in that.
Oh yeah,
I'd imagine
there's
makes you better
defensively,
right?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of confidence back there.
All right, next up for the Buffaloes. By the way, they're on the road on Thursday. They'll be in Milwaukee to take on Marquette. What do you know about Marquette?
I don't know much, honestly. So it'll be a good challenge for us. It's our first road trip all together with a new team, so should be good.
Taking a trip like that, does that kind of help team unity, a little
For
bonding?
sure. I mean, you're with each other 24/7, so it's always fun. It's fun to get out of town.
And then, of course, when you jump into Pac-12 conference play, you're getting into the deep end of the pool then, right?
For sure. So it'll be a good challenge for us this weekend.
Coming off a great season like a year ago, does that raise the bar for you guys?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we definitely have higher goals this year. We want to make it further in the tournament and maybe win a Pac-12 championship, so we'll see.
I like that. Well, good luck the rest of the season.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right, that's junior Tatum Barton joining us from the CU soccer team again Thursday at Marquette. Buffaloes this week in football, of course, don't need to tell you, they're in Lincoln, Nebraska to take on the Huskers as we put a wrap on the Buffalo Stampede. We'll talk to you next week.